Hey everyone, welcome to Season 2 of Aniki, the podcast about animes with two brothers. I'm Ben.
I'm Jonathan, and I still promise that it will be shorter this time, both in episode length and number of episodes. Won't that be nice?
If you remember, picking up from last time, we were talking about Hyoka and then JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Yes.
How about that Bunkasai?
How about that Bunkasai?
How about
Do you know what's
the
going
Bunkasai?
on in that? Can you catch us up on the old Bunkasai?
The Bunkasai?
Over and dead.
I can't. I don't even remember. How about the Adventures of JoJo? How are the Pillarmen doing? The good old PBs.
They're all dead.
Oh.
I think they all got thrown into a volcano.
Nope. They all got turned into a Doug trio. Remember?
No.
What?
Wrong. False.
It looks just like them. It's fine.
False
it's fine.
forever.
No, it's great.
Oh, actually, speaking of JoJo,
Yes.
I have a thing to show you.
Oh. Is this just gonna be another Suzuku?
Uh-oh, that sounds like Swiper the Fox.
No.
That sneaky fox is always trying to swipe our
Swiper, no
stuff.
swiping?
If you see Swiper, say...
Okay, that's pretty okay. Okay, yeah, I'm alright with that. Yeah, okay. I'll deal. Oh, did you run the make your own stand?
No, I didn't.
Why have you not done that?
Because I think I saw your tweet like yesterday and it was really busy.
Well, we'll do it right now.
Send me
Live
the link
on air.
again.
This will be the hottest of takes.
Okay, fine.
How
Send me the
hard-
link.
how hard
I'll
is
do
this?
it.
Send you the link. Link to create your stand. Just type it. Just type in your name.
Just
That's
my
all you have to
name?
do. Yeah, type in Benjamin. I typed in Jonathan for mine, and I got Jailhouse Clash.
All right.
He reverses aging.
Mine is my number one.
That's a
I
good name.
control fashion.
Ooh, that sounds very JoJo. I don't want to see what you controlling fashion would look like, however.
Terrifying. I assure you.
Lots of camp shirts and
Lots of flannel, probably.
flannel. Well, that's how millennial. That's what I should be doing here in Seattle.
What was
Right
your
now,
stand?
my stand was Jailhouse Clash. It can reverse aging.
Oh.
It's pretty useful. It's got a high range. Its power is real low, but its potential is also low. Never
My
mind.
power is 1, but my durability is maximum.
Oh, nice. I have rank 3 in speed, range, and durability.
Oh, good.
So, pretty
That's
decent
pretty
range
useful.
to reverse aging. Its precision is actually really low, though, so I imagine that it's just in a very broad area aging is reversed.
That sounds like it could have the opposite effect of what you want.
You would want it. Is this what we're supposed to be talking about? I mean,
What?
I don't see why not.
Are we not supposed to be talking about stands?
I mean, we could be. If we want to start with what anime we've been watching this week before we hop into the show. It depends on how you want to do it with this hot new format. I mean,
I know. I mean, the possibilities are endless.
are endless as 8.
So yes, we did have a request to talk about Keijo, which apparently is
We
an
did.
internet sensation or something of that
I
sort.
have not seen it, and I don't want to watch it.
I haven't seen it. Was this on our list that we talked about like a couple weeks ago?
No, why
Because
would
I
it
don't
be?
remember this at all.
Keijo's terrible.
I thought I would remember. So
Hold on. I got tweets and replies here where my good friend Ingram's talked about Keijo, and I sent him the best GIF ever. I actually had to create this GIF just to send him after I read what Keijo was.
yeah, so I've been on Reddit the last couple weeks, and every once in a while I'll see this some weird GIF of something to do with girls standing on a pillar and basically hip checking each other with their butt. Except
With
it's
their
not
butt.
hockey, they're in a pool. But apparently that is the plot to an anime airing right now.
Yeah, it is. It's American Gladiators, but with ladies punching each other
With butts.
with and breasts. They can't use their
Oh.
arms. That's the only legal rule from what I understand. Here, this might be the tweet thread that I'm should be my first GIF in response to this is what happens when somebody watches one of those weird Japanese game shows and thinks, yes, this needs a backstory. Also with TNA, it's just Count Rogan saying that's the worst thing I've ever heard. How marvelous!
So here's one interesting
Mm-hmm.
thing, though. I was talking about someone wanting to have us watch this, or at least comment on this Keijo thing.
Yeah,
And someone else mentioned, it is ridiculous, and it's very
bad fan service.
fan servicey is the best way of putting it.
I mean that's an acceptable euphemism.
Maybe more like porno-y.
Look, no, I mean, it's not.
And they said, now one may be tempted to think that, but it's not as bad as the rugby anime that's airing right now.
Yeah.
All Out.
Yeah, All Out is like that, but for girls. You're not wrong.
Which apparently is just beefcake.
Yeah, which is a lot of beefcake and baiting and
Sausage.
all the time. Yeah, people want them boys.
So I guess if we have two airing at the same time, can each preference, is there really like an argument to be made about anime sexism now?
Well, I mean,
since now it's equally awful.
Well, I bring this up with Annie all the time. We talk about it quite frequently, where it's like, well, anime, like, it has subdivided its genres so hard that if you want to be pandered to, there's an anime out there that will pander to you.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Exactly, that's what we've decided. I'm not sure if that's good or bad, but look, if you're into a show that's just about cute boys, cute boying, you can find that. There aren't as many as cute girls doing cute things, but they definitely exist.
And there are more of them now than ever.
Yeah, no, they have definitely zoned in on that female market share and are aggressively targeting them.
You keep it up, Fujoshi. Keep it up. You'll get yours.
You do you.
I'm looking at more of these Keijo gifs for some reason.
Why would you want to look at Keijo GIFs?
Because they're just ridiculous.
Keijo GIFs sounds better, but I hate GIF. Confusing.
This girl just got her skull crushed by a butt.
So are you watching any anime this new season?
No.
Anything that's worth watching that's not Keijo?
Well, I remember us going over the fall anime list.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't remember any of these things being on that list.
Flip Flapper Super wasn't. It came out of nowhere, and it's surprising everyone because it's
I don't know
real
what
good.
Flip Flappers is. Let's
It's
look
real
up Flip
good.
Flappers. Paprika and Kokona. Hold the keys to
Kokona.
open the door.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the plot.
That's about all you want to know. It's very reminiscent. It's, how did I describe it? It's like a mishmash of Furikuri and Cardcaptor Sakura with the sexiness turned up a tad, but it's real good.
Whoa. The sexiness from Fulikuli turned up a tad, or the sexiness from Cardcaptors turned up a tad?
Okay, well, you could probably just split the difference. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's real good, though. Very solid. The animation is spectacular. Lots of great backgrounds. Sound design is great. Yeah, sorry. I'm drinking my Mountain Dew Black Label.
Good job.
It's
it
a
Asian
deeper,
bourbon
darker
barrels?
dew. What?
Is it Asian bourbon
oak?
barrels?
It might be. It's crafted with dark berry.
Oh, artisanally crafted or just normally crafted?
It's Mountain Dew. Everything about it is artisan. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, actually, since we stopped recording,
Yeah, you've watched zero animes?
pretty much no anime because college football started up.
Oh, that's
and
fair. That's a good
then all of
reason.
a sudden the Cubs were doing good and they were in the postseason.
Yeah, 2016 is a terrible year and is bonkers, and it's a statistical outlier and should not be counted.
Right. But you know, the good Lord has given us the Cubs in the World Series out of
Yeah.
all the other stuff.
Out of everything else that occurs.
But probably after the World Series is over, which will be after we recorded this and it actually goes live, I'll probably start watching something at some point.
Yeah, Flip Flappers super great. Watch Flip Flappers.
I will add that to my list. So yeah, this season we decided that we should keep the whole fighting thing going. Maybe less mystery and more just punching things.
More punch. Well, I mean, punching is a strong statement. Punching implies more than one punch, where Saitama is known for his titular one punch.
I mean, he has one punch,
Yeah,
but many of the other characters have multiple punches.
they try.
But there are many punches overall in the show One Punch Man.
Yeah, that's true.
So this time, if you'd like to follow along, which if you haven't seen One Punch Man yet, you definitely should.
Yeah, no, the animation alone.
Yeah, it's on Daisuke and it is on Hulu. So you don't have an excuse not to go watch it because it's great.
It reminds me a lot of Astral Fighter Sunred.
I mean, they're both definitely in the same vein. Yeah. All right. So before we actually get into the show, And before you had watched anything of One Punch Man, what did you expect?
He beats guys in one punch with really good animation. I mean, that's sort of what I knew about it. And I know it's long sordid art history, which it was drawn by one who was terrible. He got better, but not before a real manga artist was like, man, your thing's really good, let me draw it. So he did, and then they used that art style for One Punch Man. Whereas in Mob Psycho 100, we use One's original art style, but jazzed up a bit. I will say, I think I like the cartooniness of the art in Mob Psycho a little bit more, but I like the juxtaposition of the parody with the extremely realistic shonen style that is used here in One Punch Man. So that's pretty cool.
So, One Punch Man, first episode.
Episode 1, The Strongest Man.
The strongest of all the men. I wonder who it could be.
Joseph Joestar.
Definitely. But he's not in this show. Plus, he's probably dead by now because we don't really ever get a sense of when or where any of this is taking place.
One Punch Man takes place? I don't know.
It takes place in superhero land. Yeah, I guess
it's more Super Sentai land.
Yeah, pretty much. So we open on some lovely red tomatoes against a backdrop of a city that's lively and growing. People going about their business on subways and going to work and school and daily living.
Yeah, and then nukes start going off,
and then boom.
Nukes, and then Purple Piccolo stands up.
Oh, you also noticed that he's Piccolo?
I just love how it starts classics. Like, you know what you're getting in for. You're getting into a series that is going to like be a little very derivative, but in the best kinds of ways.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna play with its derivativeness.
Yeah, Purple Piccolo shows up and just essentially for no reason starts DBZing all over the city. Oh yeah,
all over the city,
blowing everything up. Why?
Yeah, I love all the monsters in this episode because we just run through a whole bunch of stereotypes real quick. We just get Piccolo and then a Titan and then
just everything.
And then a standard Sentai monster. Yeah.
So we cut from the explosions, like ruining everybody's lives, blowing everything up. We assume that there are thousands dead at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Who knows?
I think the total body count in then just this one episode is at least 2 mil.
Oh, has to be. So we cut to some sort of like headquarters type thing.
It's the command center.
Yeah, I guess city command center. Maybe the mayor's there.
I don't know. Either way, they've sent out, Smile Man and Lightning Bolt.
Which brings up some interesting things, like, are there just heroes running around?
I mean, that gives you a pretty good read on what we're doing. We're definitely dealing with superhero Super Sentai land, where everything is real and it's okay. Monsters, except the monsters in this are hyper deadly.
Yes. I mean, we immediately cut from, hey, Lightning Max and Smile Man are on their way, to they're already dead.
Because, I mean, here's the thing with Super Sentai, right? With Gokaiger, which I'm still making my way through. With Gokaiger, we know that all Super Sentai take place in the same universe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not even, like, all of them, which means the Earth has been accosted by so many malevolent beings that like to blow up cities. Yet the body count in Super Sentai land is, like, maybe 5. Like, no one actually ever dies, though buildings get blown up a bunch.
Yeah. Well, that's
here. That is not the case.
That is not the. Yeah,
that's not the case here.
No.
What's the threat level assessment here? I love their threat scale.
Yes. Well, it gets really ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, do we get a threat level in this episode? I think they cut off before they actually say. Oh,
maybe
what
they
it is.
did. It was on unprecedented scale. Hero Association is currently analyzing the threat as I just got blown up by Piccolo. Cut to Saitama watching TV.
Did you notice what city they're in?
No.
It's just City A.
Yeah.
Nondescript city. Because, it's going to get leveled. Who cares what it's named?
Well, I mean, and that's also just a Japanese thing, right? Like, anytime anything appears in newspapers or TV and they don't want to talk about what things are, they just give them letter names.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Person A was killed.
Yeah, so we cut back from the news saying that, holy crap, everything is gone, everything's getting blown up, to a nondescript bald man sitting alone in his dark apartment. I guess he'll go. It's his hobby, after all. He comes out with his yellow suit. He looks just the worst, okay? Can I say that? He looks the worst. He looks the worst. He really didn't put a whole lot of effort into his persona. Yeah. I mean, he's got the yellow spandex, the belt, and the ridiculous cape.
The ridiculous cape and big red gloves. I love his kitchen gloves. He walks out, he poses, which is a great pose. I love it when any superhero poses. And we get a nice kanji splash of justice enforcement. This man means business.
You bet. So he walks out, and there is an orphan girl in the rubble, weeping. Clearly, everything around her is dead. She's probably about to be dead.
Well, we know that because here comes Piccolo behind her, and his hand
Rippling
grows
muscles,
and is about to squish.
Giant bulging veins.
Yeah. Going to squish her like an insect, but zipped away.
Where'd she go?
Who has saved him? This red-booted dude. I love his wonderful grin where you're like, oh, this guy's going to be awesome. And then
you see his face. Then
he has a wonderful one. He's got a one face. His face is just Mob from Mob Psycho, but bald. And so I don't like the translation here.
Oh, yeah?
The translation on Hulu has him saying he introduces himself as just a guy who's a hero for fun.
Right.
Which isn't quite right.
No?
No.
I mean, that's the same as on Daisuke. But what should it be?
Well, he says that he's heroing is his shumi. It's a hobby. I think it's funnier when it's, oh yeah, this is just my hobby. It's like it's like playing Magic. It's a thing I do.
I do collecting it on the DL.
Collecting Hot Wheels, playing video games, heroing. It's just part of what I do. When I can squeeze it in, I make sure. I don't always go out, but when I do, I make sure it's for heroing.
But seriously, what the hell kind of backstory is that?
I love it. Because we're going to get like 800 backstories in just this episode that are all very deep and intense. And his backstory is, I wanted to be a hero, so I trained real hard. It's my hobby, man. It lets you know what you're in for. That's for sure.
Yeah. There are no secrets in One Punch Man.
Next episode, we definitely find out there are no secrets. Because if there's a secret, they're going to Joe-splain it to you for as long as they possibly can.
Definitely. So this guy goes on his own backstory.
Oh,
he doesn't like our hero's backstory at all.
He's like, what? That's just your hobby?
Like, okay, let me show you how it's done before
let
we
me
go
show
any
you.
further. I was bored of pollution because of the Earth and, humans being the worst.
Yeah.
And, basically like Captain Planet type deal. I'm going to wipe out humanity. I am the cure that's going to cleanse the surface of the world of the bacteria that is humankind.
Yeah.
I am Vaccine Man. I mean, why can't you have a thing like that?
Yeah, like, come on. Like, get with it. Get with it, Saitama. Be better. But
he can't. He doesn't.
No.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't. Well, he doesn't care as much anymore. He used to. And it's just his hobby? Just your hobby? What is that?
Yeah, so he transforms into this hideous horned beast with claws and teeth and everything. And
he's ready to just destroy. Yeah, and then he gets punched with the titular one punch with a very... I just love this.
The insane juxtaposition of this overly detailed, horrific monster, veins, teeth, claws, glowing eyes. Then he gets punched, and suddenly he's just standing there like a Sunday comic character.
Oh yeah, no, this is great.
And that's
just
it.
Great. Because he just goes from being highly detailed. Well, again, and this has more to do with the second manga artist / the person in charge of the show, where it goes from a very hyper detailed, very modern shonen style to going right back to one's original designs of just him looking like a dope.
And I love it because the art style goes all over the place in the best ways.
Yeah, it uses it really well. It uses switching between the two art styles extremely effectively to just really let you know that, look, we're here for some goofs.
But then we can get serious.
Kind of.
And then it's goofs time again.
Yep. He's so then Saitama falls to his knees and it's just like...
He curses his fate.
It just took one punch. Not again. This is supposed to be a challenge. This is my hobby. I want it to be somewhat challenging.
It has to be fun. And I just keep winning.
He just lifts his hands into the sky and curses. And then we get a sweet op.
How do you feel about the op?
It's pretty all right. The song could be a little better, but op's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I like how it's pretty much just the most overdone and yet still extremely generic action anime opening.
Oh, yeah.
You've got your hero with the cape, very small against the backdrop of all the monsters he has to fight.
Yeah,
running around.
I do like the slow-mo with all the viscera falling from the sky.
I mean, everything in this op is extremely detailed.
Yeah.
Super realistic. Like something you'd see out of Watchmen or something.
Yeah.
And also none of this is actually in the show.
Yeah, generally not. Well, because he seems excited and things try to put up a fight against him, and well, in the show he just punches them.
The song isn't my particular favorite.
Nah, it's not great.
That's mostly because of the last part.
I will say one of my favorite things about the op is when he punches this star guy.
Hoshi from Arakawa Under the Bridge.
Yeah, because he's like fighting all these other monsters that look like monsters. There's like this big guy that looks like a big demon Joker. He like punches a Titan in the fist and he blows up. And then he just punches the star. Oh, I didn't even notice his face. His face is like super smiley and happy too. Right before Saitama owns it.
Yeah, well, he should have known better.
I like how it ends with him getting groceries at the op.
Yes, well, he does that.
Yep.
We come back from the op, and it's immediately 3 years ago because you need to know backstory. So let's have some backstory about something.
So this is a point. Well, I guess I should wait for it here in a little bit. But there's a point here where the contrasting art styles break down a bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But well.
We cut to a salary man walking down the street. Suit, tie, hair. That's important.
Well, yeah.
Eyes.
I love the hair.
He has eyes. Just
Lively
a fully decked out,
sharp.
normal dude. Like any dude we've seen so far.
Yeah.
And he is approached by a man. Well, half man, half crab, wearing Y-fronts.
I love this guy. He is man legs from the waist down with Y-fronts. And then top up, crab monster. Very, very Super Sentai. Very Super Sentai.
And you don't notice much about him right now until a little bit later. There's an interesting fact about something that he is something that is on him.
I just took it for par for the course for the beginning. I like how this guy's backstory is he ate too much crab one time, so it turned him to Crablante.
That's the interesting thing about the monsters in this universe is they all want to give a very detailed backstory.
Well, that's very important.
But it almost generally just boils down to, I just did a thing and then I was like this. I ate too much crab, so now I'm a crab. Obviously,
that's Super Sentai logic, man. That's very Kamen Rider too.
Yeah, so he mocks the salaryman and says to himself says that he himself ate too much crab and became Crablante-sama.
Which is a really good name. I'm a big fan of Crablante.
And he wants to know, why aren't you running? Shouldn't you be like running, screaming from me like everybody else?
Yeah. Do you have a death wish, bucko?
It's like, not really. I'm not even a salaryman. I'm unemployed. I just got rejected from an interview. So actually, I don't really care.
So I have 0 to live for.
Yeah. So, I mean, given that, like, how is this going to play out?
Yeah. Oh, how is it? Are you literally asking me?
Yeah, sure.
Crablante is like, well, from one man with dead eyes to another, I'm gonna let you go.
Besides, he's hunting bigger prey.
Yeah.
Some big-chinned guy that he really wants to rip the arms off of.
Yep. Some Konogaki. He's looking for Akagi and rip off his arms.
So the salaryman journeys forward, and right outside his apartment, he happens into the big chin guy that the crab dude was looking for.
And this is where we have 100% one and a big art clash.
So there's a kid who's
He's
no
got
more than
butt
10.
Chin.
He
Butt
has
chin.
a large chin.
Chin.
He has a butt chin. So you remember earlier we were talking about Keijo.
You're not wrong. Yeah,
it's essentially Keijo, except it's his chin.
His chin. Yep.
And
this is, if you watched Mob Psycho, this is something you've seen before. You've seen one's big chin.
Yeah. They're like, what's his face? The Akagi guy. They're like his noses.
Yeah.
Except their chins.
And it's fine to do this, but in this more realistic style, it breaks down a smidgen.
Yeah.
They should have toned it down a bit for this, because it's really not important that his chin's that ridiculous.
Well, but it's big. And everything in this world is overdone.
Over the top. Yeah, you're not wrong there.
So, Salaryman thinks to himself, crap, he's here. And if he's caught, he's dead.
He's gonna get citizen snipsed to death. He's gonna be put on the clamps.
So he's like, hey, kid, did you happen to mess with some sort of crab monster like earlier today?
You saw a crab beast? Did you do something like bad to him? He's like, oh yeah, I saw him sleeping on a bench, so I took a marker and I drew nipples on his carapace.
You look back and you're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he did. Huh. I thought those were part of the actual manga art. Nope.
They were
First
just
off,
that
is a jerk thing to do, big chin dude.
A little bit.
You think he didn't already have enough problems? You know, seeing as how he's a giant crab and all?
Well, I like how the Salaryman deals with that information. He's like, well, I kind of want to help, but then again, this kid is not cute at all, and this is none of my business, so I'm going to go.
Yeah, that's it for this.
So he starts to actually walk away.
Yeah, because it wasn't his
Crab.
problem. But then Crablante shows up to Crablante.
And before he knows what he's doing, he's rescuing the kid from the claw. And he really wants the kid to like run away because, he just saved him, put his life on the line. But his ball.
Yeah, but the soccer ball, Crablante steps on it.
Oh, no. Worst.
Truly the worst.
I do like how in this one shot where he stepped on this ball and crushed it, we have so many different things going on. We have a dude in a suit. We have
a realistic guy with a
butt
suit.
chin.
Yeah,
and we have an underwear
Crablante.
crab. All in the same frame.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's what we signed up for.
So the dude tries to reason with the crab. It's just a harmless prank. Why you gotta kill him? Seems a little extreme.
Well, Crablante points out that, he's got clamps, and when he sees people, he clamps them. So
Definitely.
I'll clamp this kid.
Yeah.
With the clamps.
Always the clamps. Plus, he drew permanent marker on his chest.
Yeah.
And he can't even use a towel because of claws.
Do you think I could use towels with these big, meaty claws? No, he can't. He can't use towels with those big, meaty claws.
So then our hero goes a little meta on all of us. It's like,
he
starts laughing. Like, you look like a villain from an anime I watched once.
Like seriously. What are you even doing? You could put on pants. It's not like your legs down couldn't wear pants.
I mean, you are wearing Y-fronts, so assuming they fit you, you could probably find a pair of pants.
Like some cargo shorts or some Bermuda shorts. Then you would at least look like a mutant from like Ninja Turtles. Like, come on.
Just come on. Whatever. Just something.
Well, he gets owned. Big meaty claws, big meaty him all the way across. Though
it's knocked into a building, but for some reason is not dead.
No, is not dead. So this leads me to believe that humans have evolved along with monsters attacking all the time, so your average person is a little bit more durable than usual. Either that or
sense.
Superpowers are real in this universe too, and Saitama's had at least a little bit of them all along.
Maybe.
One or
he
both
doesn't just
of
get
these
knocked
things
into
is
the
true.
building. He gets like
Owned.
whooped several times. And he explains to the crab that, look, first of all, in this age of declining birth rates, I can't let you just kill a kid.
Hey, Japan, have kids. Japan, have kids. Have kids. All of them. Kids
But you know what?
Even if they have butt chins.
Well, maybe not if they have butt chins.
You're right, now if they have butt chins.
Maybe you could ship those overseas.
Yeah, get rid of
Anyway,
butt chins.
so, I've always kind of wanted to be a hero.
Yeah.
And,
I always dreamed myself as being the type of hero that would defeat monsters with one punch.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
So he proceeds to defeat him without any punching.
Yeah, with 0 punches. He takes off his tie, jumps over Crablante after getting smacked around a good deal, and rips out Crablante's eye, which I guess is attached to literally all of his internal organs.
So, you crack open a crab leg and you pull out the meat and it comes out in this nice, long, delicious meat stick.
That's what happens to
Essentially,
Crab-Blante
he
here.
grabs onto his eye stalk, yanks on it with his tie, and it just all
Crab-Blante's insides unravel somehow.
Yes, and
It's
ejects
very-
out through his eye hole.
It's very gruesome.
It's surprisingly gruesome, this show.
Yeah.
We then cut back to the present, and we find out that the salary man who had a detailed face and hair
Yeah. And fire in his eyes is now...
is this bald-headed dude who's now shopping for crab claws at the local grocery store.
Because he has trained so hard over the past 3 years, he's gone bald. I'm not sure that's a thing, but I guess if you sit under enough waterfalls, that might do something to your scalp.
Well, I think if you've trained enough that your hair falls out,
And
all your hair falls out, you can probably defeat things in, say, less than 2 punches.
Yeah. Also, you're completely immune to all damage ever, even your own.
That's the weird thing, is he's become the hero he always wanted to be.
Yeah.
He's undefeatable. And
But
yet
he's also
something's wrong.
undefeatable.
Yeah, something's off.
I think it's because there's a Titan rampaging through the city. Is that what's off?
Probably.
Yeah.
I do like
because-
how he's in this supermarket, right? He's this invincible, essentially Super Saiyan godlike thing.
Yeah.
And all the housewives are walking by him, just giving him this like, what in the
Dude, you're
world
bald
are you
and
doing
weird.
here?
Go away.
Quit creeping on us. But yeah, he's buying his crab claws, and the lights start flickering, and the ground starts shaking. What could it be?
Yeah. Well, half of his supermarket just disappears, and then there is outside. So he stumbles outside, and we get a pan up to above the city, and we have a, what is this, a 1, 2, 3, 4,
About a
5,
thing.
about 4 or 5 foot footprint, 4 or 5 block footprint in the middle of the city. We've gone full on Attack on Titan here.
Oh yeah.
We then pan out to see basically an Attack on Titan style Titan walking around the city.
Although he's not eating people, which is
No,
nice. I
He's just
appreciate them
walking
not eating people.
because he is now the strongest being on the planet.
Yes, thanks to his brother,
His Aniki.
his scientist brother,
His Aniki. See what
his
we did
Aniki. Yes,
there? We did it.
the science. We've had an Aniki in our Aniki. But yeah, we get this backstory.
We now get
now.
this guy's backstory. Where this younger brother wanted to be the strongest in the world, the strongest man, so he would train. That was his dream. His dream was to train and become the strongest man. Meanwhile, his brother, a super scientist, could not match the brawn, but could match the brains, and developed, what is this? What is the
oil
name of
slick
this?
in a test tube.
It's an oil slick in a test tube, but it's called
Biceps King.
Bicep King. So he gives it to his brother to drink, and he becomes a Titan.
I should say that this thing looks awful. Like, it really does look like an oil slick. It's got all rainbow color.
Oh, that's in a tube? Oh, yeah, no, it's gross.
But it's
Like,
okay because he added strawberry flavoring.
Yeah, it makes it go down easier. It's the chocolate coating. Makes it go down easier.
Definitely. So now the older brother thinks that with his smarts and his brother's brawn, they could obviously rule the world.
Yeah, they can become like unto gods and take over the entire world.
And this particular instance starts a running gag throughout the show where a tasteful cloud hides
Oh, yeah, this is really
some
good.
bits.
Yeah,
Very
they do it a
large
lot.
bits.
I like it.
Yeah, this dude is so big and powerful that he just sort of swipes his arm off to the right.
Yeah,
Just,
and it creates
at
a
the
windstorm that destroys an entire section of the city. I like these above shots to really just show these wide swaths of destruction. Like, it's really good.
So many people dying right now. Just all
Yeah,
of
like,
them. All of them
really
are
great.
dead.
Well, not that so many people are dying, but just the way that they've stylized the destruction in this show is really good.
So
Well
apparently,
done. Thousands have perished.
this city is City D.
Yeah.
He's pretty much wrecked it, and they're headed for City B.
Yeah.
Panic is taking over as everyone tries to escape.
The strongest man. Now remember, this is the strongest man. No one could be stronger than this strongest man.
Except suddenly there's a man on the other shoulder of the giant.
And I have to say, I love this scene. It is very morbid and a really great joke.
I like how all of it just works. Like Saitama just sort of shows up.
Yeah.
Like in one scene.
Yeah, you don't even notice him there for a second. You just
He's
see
over
this guy
there.
yellow on his other shoulder, but he's over there. He's ready. He's ready.
Yeah,
It's
he's
really
like-
good.
So, how does it feel to be the strongest? Also, you should probably put on some pants.
Yeah.
Seriously, dude.
Like, seriously, you're really tall. You could still wear pants.
The older brother on the other shoulder is like,
hey, what? There's this dude. There's someone on your shoulder. You squish him. Squish him.
Kill the guy on your shoulder.
Kill the guy on your shoulder. Kill him. So the Titan just goes smack and squishes the wrong shoulder.
Nissan!
It really got me. It got me laughing out loud. It was a good gag. Very good gag. Because he does it so nonchalantly. And then he just instantly realizes, whoops, that was the infinite wrong shoulder.
How did this happen? I just wanted to be strong.
And Saitama just like, while the Titan is yelling out, brother, Saitama just plugs his ears.
Yeah, because, it's really loud.
All he wanted to do was be strong. How did it end up like this? With me squishing my own brother. Me ham play gods.
So the monster grabs him because it's clearly his fault because he just sort of showed up there.
Yeah.
So he's clearly at fault and throws him clean down through a building level.
Oh, yeah. So this is where I really noticed that the show is just great with switching its animation. Not just the style, but just going from this very realistic, very sketchy style to then just infinite squash stretch. Just a great cartooning instantly.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is a great piece of animation with this Titan trying to beat up Saitama. Like, it really good.
Yeah, he stomps on him, punches him, crushes him, like essentially Kill la Kill style. Like there's a lot of Gynax influence.
Very squash stretch. Lots of ora punching. Very good.
Nothing is left now except like a deep
hole
and a wasteland
into the center
around.
of the ground.
The guy's like, I am the strongest, and he looks at the remains of his brother in his hand.
The stain of his brother, which he squashed.
Yeah, he's like,
so what if I feel empty?
I know, right?
And from the depths, Saitama, I know it sucks, and then punches him right in his snoot.
Yep, right in the old head.
Is
sucker contorted out and away from his body.
Having overwhelming strength, says Saitama, is pretty boring.
Also, oops.
Because he just cold clocked the Titan and he falls over onto City B and levels it. So we get a nice splash cell of, and City B was destroyed. There were no survivors. You did it. You saved them.
At that point, we get our eye catch, which is
really good.
A really long way into the episode. Like we're almost at the end.
Yep. 15:50. Yeah, I like the eye catches in this so far. I like how there's definitely an intro and outro eye catch, which I like. With a bit of a color swap. It's
also very action anime-ish.
Yep. It's no Seira Moon Aru, but you do what you can.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I love R's eye catches.
Oh Lord. We come back from the eye catch, and it's late at night, and our hero is shopping at a kombini, annoyed that the evils of the world are not vanishing anytime soon, and really haven't diminished since he started 3 years ago.
Yeah. He started being a hero 3 years ago, and really he's accomplished basically nothing. You say that, Saitama, but think of how many things you've blown up. I do like how he's walking through parts of a city that have honestly gotten blowed up before. Because monster attacks, they just happen.
That's how this world operates. It's all monster attacks.
And that's all it is. The entire economy is about building and rebuilding cities. You'd think that they would just build things underground, though I think we'll see here in a moment why they don't do that.
Yeah, that's a bad idea. So, really, he's bothered not so much by not having any challenges, but that he's becoming more and more distant from his own humanity and his own emotions.
He's traded all that in for power, but at what cost? Meanwhile, he is then instantly interrupted by another Super Sentai monster, who's this time a hot rod car. I'm super
I don't even understand this character design.
It's just so Power Rangers it hurts.
It's just a big puttyish monster with a hot rod for.
This isn't a putty. This is just a straight up hot rod monster.
No, he looks kind of like the goopy guy from Batman.
Oh yeah, Clayface. Yeah, sure.
Clayface.
Yeah,
yes.
But he's not. He's Super Custom YO649Z Mark II.
Right, and then he starts explaining his backstory.
Oh, I didn't catch this. What is his backstory? I'm sure it's great.
It doesn't really matter because Saitama just sort of keeps
I
talking
love building
over
custom
him
cars
and then just
so
punches
much,
him.
I decked myself out. I'm a custom car-loving monster. And if you're thinking of getting in my way, I'll show you my big headlights on that bald skull of yours, and then he just explodes.
He's dead. That's it.
He got Saitama'd. I do like, after he has defeated this monster in one punch, he's very sad about it. He looks over to the eggs he just bought, and the shockwave of his punches cracked all of his eggs, and he's just like, I guess I'll just have eggs over my rice tonight, since all my eggs have already broken. It's tough being on top, man.
It really is. Very lonely.
You know, they say it's good to be king, but I guess not.
You know, there are a lot of kings in this show.
Yeah.
None of them stay kings for very long.
He comes home and washes his undamaged gloves.
His heart just isn't in his fighting anymore.
And since this was his hobby, right? Like, this is something he did for fun, and now it's just not fun anymore.
And he really just wants to get a kick out of it again.
He's gotten too
that's
good.
all he wants. Simple pleasures.
He's gotten too good.
But very important here. Extremely important to us and the podcast at large.
Yeah.
Did you notice something interesting?
He's
Who is
got
back?
a cactus.
It's Cactus.
Cactus is back. We have a thing for succulents. We like succulent anime here on Aniki. Yeah, succulent anime because succulents.
Delightful.
I like shows with cactuses. What do you want from me? There's a cactus in the episode of JoJo I watched today too. So how about that? Yeah.
Just a lot of cactus.
Well, there was a cat who became a stand user but then died, so he became a cat-shaped plant who can shoot hyper-dense bubbles of air.
I missed that shit.
So he shot one at a cactus and the cactus exploded.
At least he didn't tie anybody to a cactus and then leave him there.
Yeah, not this time. But it was a cat plant named Stray Cat.
It's a pussy
Cat
willow.
Scratch? No, it's just, hold on. Stray
Unfortunate.
Cat
Should be
stand.
pussy willow. So yeah, where were we? Yeah, so next morning, our hero is awoken by a large black hand smashing through his wall and grabbing him.
Oh, I love this whole scene. It's so good.
He's like, my house.
It got me.
What? Then he's blindsided by a sucker punch
Yeah.
and gets a cut on his head. Which is surprising because like he just said, he always comes home undamaged and now he's bleeding. This is new.
Brand new. And
This is a thing.
He gets a fire in his eyes.
He's like, what the hell are you?
What is this? I love these monsters. They're so grotesque. They're really great.
They're like, what? That's rude. We're the true Earthlings.
What am I? We are the true Earthlings. We are the Subterraneans, and we have overpopulation down below, so now we have come up top to kill everyone. And as we speak, already 70% of the surface dwellers are dead.
However, this is odd because normally we kill anyone we punch, but here you are.
And he's like, well, that's funny. So do I. I always kill people in one punch, too. Let's fight. Heaven or hell.
So he punches the dude, and nothing happens. Except then it's like Fist of the North Star, and the dude explodes.
And then he explodes.
But there's like...
It's okay. There's an
millions
endless amount. Millions and millions of these Subterraneans.
Yep. He fights them one after another with a gleam in his eye.
Yeah, he's gotten it. He's gotten the thrill. Even if he defeats everybody in one punch, if there's a million of them, it's a fight. And I love these Subterranean guys. They're just huge and beefy. Their look
faces make no
BA.
sense.
Yeah, no, they are hard as tack. These guys are great.
And then finally, a huge one shows up and is like, yeah, you know what?
Those underlings couldn't take you down, but I know I can. Oh, and this fight scene is just so well animated. Lots of spins, lots of pencil sketchy. Oh, and when he gets hit on this overpass bridge and the bridge goes down, oh, that was some sick animation.
Yeah, the animation in pretty much every fight scene is spectacular.
Phenomenal. And this is just so good. Because they're on top of an overpass bridge, and one of the Subterraneans punch at Saitama and miss and hit the bridge, and you get a still shot from his section of the bridge as it goes down. Oh, it's really great.
And they're like, who was that surface dweller? And he rises out of the ashes because the city's on fire now.
Oh yeah,
and
obviously.
He's like, I'm just a guy who's a hero for a hobby, and the surface is under my protection.
Yeah, he loves it.
So then all the big dudes gang up on him, like big talk for a race of vermin.
Yep.
And the fight resumes, and he takes out multiple big ones, one punch each, and his heart is throbbing, the rush, the tension. a real fight.
Finally, he's killed so many of them, it summons the underground subterranean king himself.
Yes, and this is the fight he's been looking for.
Yeah, finally a challenge. Finally, the greatest of fights.
Finally, the alarm goes off.
Oh, it's really got me. It really did, because I was like, man, wow, the conflict of this show sure was over real quick. Man, I like this, though. I like a good challenge. This is really great. I'm really excited. Oh, and I went, oh, and I was like, oh, poor Saitama. I was so sad for him. I felt so sorry. It's like his dreams are of just having like a good fight where he still wins, but I mean, at a really good cost. Then wait,
from outside he hears once again, the surface is ours. Only now it's a much smaller voice than from before.
These subterraneans are so great.
And there's this dude just standing outside like, I'm the subterranean king. He's like, got 4 arms. He's no bigger than like 2 dudes.
Yeah, he's just so tiny.
And Saitama crushes him. Yeah. Like, bring it on, guys.
Yeah, but Saitama goes from fighting like Megazord-sized monsters in his dream to like fighting these subterranean putties. It's just like so sad.
Like, it's worse than just him waking up from a dream.
Yeah, it's just he gets what he wants.
Maybe this was a premonition of something infinitely lamer.
Oh, these poor little lamos.
But they just escape down a hole with a.
And they put up a little flag that just says
sorry.
Sumimasen deshita. I'm so sorry. We didn't know. We didn't know someone as strong as you was up here. We'll not do that again. I apologize.
So Saitama thinks to himself, you know, maybe I've become too strong.
Oh, the poor
guy.
He's
not wrong. He's not wrong.
The surface is ours. They're just such little dweebs. They still got that gross face. I like how he takes the time to put on his suit to go fight these guys outside because he thinks it's going to be a really hardcore fight.
Of course.
But nope. They're like, oh, sorry.
So then we get our end theme. Not much to speak of there.
Yeah, no, it's kind of boring.
But there are things after the credits in each episode that sort of tie into the next. And so at the end, we see a blonde man with metal arms walking around a bunch of emaciated sheep. And that's it.
I thought they were cows.
Some sort of livestock. I mean, they're all shriveled up, so who knows? And he's headed towards the city.
Perhaps a new challenger awaits.
The next episode is the Lone Cyborg.
Yeah, well, and then we get the episode preview, which is really good, too. I like how it's voiced over by a character from that episode.
Yeah.
Because it's voiced over by Creblonte. Who just wants to tell you even more of his backstory.
But he doesn't get a chance.
He doesn't have the time.
And that's the end of episode 1. So, what'd you think of
it's really
the
good.
First episode of One Punch Man?
I do wish it was more in one's original style, like Mob Psycho, but I think it uses the different styles to great effect.
Definitely. Well, Mob Psycho is...
It's a different show.
Yes, it's a different show. It's more an actual self-contained story.
Yeah.
Where One Punch Man...
Very vignette-y.
Pretty off the cuff that it is not really a send-up, nor really an homage, but more like just a big lampshade on the entire action anime genre.
Yeah, yeah. It's a big send-up of shonen in a really good way. You can tell that by the...
It's a send-up by someone who loves the genre.
Yeah.
And you can tell.
Yeah, because it knows all the tropes. Like, I mean, it starts out with like 3 monsters that are so obvious what they are. Some very Super Sentai monsters. Piccolo, who's just purple. A Titan. Just very standard monster fare. Very good. Mole Men, which is just a great trope in and of itself that's used all the time.
I love all the different animation styles and all the tropes. And I love the fact that it just tells you right up front what's going to happen. I mean, the title of the show is One Punch Man, and you have seen it demonstrated that he wins every fight in
one. How many punches?
Just one. And so the big question is, what can you do with a show when everything's already laid out for you in one episode.
Yeah, where you know he will be. Where's the drama in fighting fights that you know he will win, but he will win in just one punch?
Which is interesting because it's essentially laying out for you the implicit thing for any kind of Sentai show. You know they're gonna win.
Oh yeah.
And this one just tells you flat out, yeah, he's gonna win as soon as he punches them.
Yeah, it cuts to the chase, very hardcore.
Yeah, and so what do you do with
in every DBZ, you know they will win eventually, but in here they just cut out the eventually part.
So, off to a good start.
Well, do we want to do our best worst and MVP?
Sure.
Okay. What was your best?
Let's see. What was my best? My best was probably, I think it has to be the smacking the brother on the shoulder joke. I think it has to be that.
Yeah, that's a really good joke. No lie.
Because you don't really see that coming.
Yeah. We're just like, oh.
Until
so he
it's
did.
happened.
Because you're like, oh, he's going to smack Saitama and it's going to do nothing and it's going to be... But no, he just accidentally squishes his brother immediately without even thinking about it. Just squish. Aw, crap.
What was your best?
My best? Probably the mole men at the end where they pop up and they're just like these weaselly little... just the worst. The worst mooks. They're just so low level after seeing these like giant, beefy pillarman style creatures, and then it's just like, oh.
What was your worst?
Worst? You know, I don't know. I don't know of anything that was just like, oh, my least favorite part of the episode.
I think my worst favorite, or my worst part was probably that guy's Y fronts. They are very distracting.
And they were distracting. Probably all the gore coming out of Crablante. Where just his entire insides unravel. That was a little much.
But that's how crabs work, right?
Yeah, I mean, when you take a leg out, yeah, but not an eye. The eye isn't connected to every part of a crab.
The eye is clearly connected to the leg bone.
Yeah, I guess.
And everything else.
Yeah. Yuck.
So who's your MVP?
MVP Crablante.
Yeah.
For being the impetus for his for Saitama's training.
My MVP, I think, would have to be the four-armed subterranean king at the end, who's just sort of waggling around.
He's just like, woohoo, I'm gonna get you. We're gonna kill all the surface.
That guy had the aspirations of the subterranean king in Saitama's dream.
Oh, he did,
but they didn't really pan out.
He was sorely lacking
bad for him.
Sorely lacking.
Oh, poor subterranean king. So yeah, that's episode 1.
Good and done.
Yep. So next week we will have the Lone Cyborg.
Lone Ranger?
No, just Cyborg.
Oh. Number 9?
Although he would be High Host Silver because he's a robot.
Because he's got silver arms?
Because he's got silver.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no, I guess that's reasonable.
Yeah. So anyway, join us next week for Aniki. Hey everyone, thanks for listening. If you'd like to get in touch with us to ask questions, make comments, or just tell us how wrong we are, you can reach us on Facebook and Twitter at Aniki Podcast, or via email at podcast@aniki.fm. See you next time.